Lanza. In Uganda, I'm leading an organization. It's called Africa Life Youth Foundation. Our main purpose is to go to young people whenever they are in colleges, high schools, universities, and even deep down in villages. So we take the gospel, we take a hand of service to these young people whenever they are. In our country, Uganda, 80% of the population is under 30 years old. That means the biggest population in Uganda are young people. So there's a lot of work to be done to young people. So our ministry organization does a great work to reach the gospel and even help young people to disciple them, to help them grow in the Lord and even to be able to meet the challenges they having, because a lot of young people have a lot of questions, but they don't have people who come down to answer the help them answer those questions. So one of the things that's what our ministry does.
When you talk about challenges such as,
Such as like social challenges like relationship kind of stuff.
relationships, okay.
Yes, they're asking what age can I get into a relationship? If in case a relationship does not work, how can I terminate a relationship kind of stuff? So such as you know, young people that always energetic who want to explore new things, but they don't know how they can explore them, and if they don't work, how can I terminate such something kind of stuff. So those are some of the challenges they face.
I think too it's good to tell people about Uganda. Tell me about Uganda. What kind of a country is it?
Uganda is a Christian country, let me say, that because 90% are Christian kind of stuff. Uganda is the population of Uganda have 40 million people in Uganda, and it's a landlocked country. We are bordering Southern Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda. So all those countries are surrounding Uganda. One of the things I would really like to let you know that Uganda is a country which welcomes refugees from all sides. We have refugees from Southern Sudan, we have refugees from Congo, we have refugees from Burundi, we have refugees from Somalia, we have refugees from Eritrea. So Uganda has actually hosted a lot of refugees.
And your particular organization, I know you say you help them to cope with different things such as relationships, but you also provide a lot of necessities to them as well, correct?
Yes, as you see there, you may ask yourself why this like highest proportion of young people, because we had a lot of HIV, AIDS, and civil war, so those killed the parents of young people, and now they have a lot of challenges. A lot of them they go to school. A lot of them their parents when they're 15 years old, they're taking care of their 12 brothers and sisters. So our organization does not only stop taking the gospel, but even seeing that we can help them to begin an income generating project, can ever help them to go to school. So we talk to friends and see if they can sponsor a child with a monthly gift. We talk to friends if they can support a project for a child, for a young person to begin like a selling business kind of stuff. So we help them also with such things.
Talking to Richard Simple, who is joining us in Atlanta from Uganda, and of course his host, Denise Smith. Now, when we say that you're his host, what does that mean, Denise?
We picked him up at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know what really he looked like with a letter that's a sign that said, "Welcome, Richard Simpala." And that just means that we're going to help him navigate here while he's staying here, getting him to and from the places that he's trying to tell his story at and learn. He really wants to be a sponge, and we want to teach him. The hardest thing I think for us as Americans, we are so blessed with so many amenities here and resources, and we have simplified things because of fast food and just the fastness that we have. And I think what we love, my husband and I and our family, we love to be able to sit down and actually hear what's happening outside of our fast food world or fastness world. That there's so many times that I've heard this saying that America has all the watches, but they have all the time. And I think we need to take more time to learn what God is doing in the big world of life and in a journey. And so for us to open up our home, that means that we get to slow down and get to take time and bless somebody that doesn't have so many amenities and doesn't have all the resources like we have to learn from. And so it's a joy to get to have a small window of his world coming to us and that we get to be a part of watching him learn.
And Richard, as we move towards finding out why you're here, how long have you been in the United States?
Now like 10 days.
And how much longer are you going to be here?
Tomorrow I'll be going to Florida, then come back on 28th, then I'll stay for 4 days, then I'll fly on 5th back to Uganda.
And why are you here? Why did you come to visit?
Yes, I came here to attend a conference. In Uganda, I'm running a youth organization, and our purpose, we're actually planning to set up a youth leadership conference within East Africa. So when a friend of mine knew that there's a youth leadership conference going to take place in Tamara, and we had an idea of planning or training the youth pastors in Uganda. So he recommended me to come and attend this conference. It was organized by the Orange here in Atlanta. So, and good enough, I had my visa already. I had a multiple visa for 2 years. So when I saw the website, what all the speakers who were going to speak in the conference, and some of them have read their books, I said, wow, this is a great opportunity. So purposely why I came to be educated. How we can equip the youth and even across Africa, because you know what's our biggest problem in Africa is we lack resources.
Mm-hmm.
We lack resources. You may find leaders, they don't know what it means being a leader. You understand? And most of the young people, they want us to go down to them, but our leaders, they really want to be up kind of stuff. So being here, attending this conference, I've learned a lot, and from helping people in Uganda.
Let's talk about what you learned. What are some of the things that you learned at this youth conference?
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned in the conference, the speakers were speaking that if we want to make a great impact to young generation, we need to come down and meet the emotional position, because the emotional position is very, very good for them to grow and change. Because there's a lot of suicide. I don't know whether in America you have a lot of suicide, and most of them people in Africa, in Uganda, are the one facing those suicide issues because they are isolated and no one comes down to understand what they're going through. So when I was in a conference, we are trained on how we need to go down and first put the Bible aside and stand with these young people the way they feel. If she has gone through abortion and she's facing a lot of psychological torture, we need to feel the same pain in order to help her or to help him get out of that situation. Second, what I learned is that we must work together, the parent and the youth pastor or a youth leader, to see that we make this young person grow in the Lord. We've been having a very big problem. There's a very big gap between the youth leader and the parents. So we realized in the conference that both partners need to come together to see that this young person grow up and become a great person in the society.
And how difficult is it or not to have to put the Bible aside, which you have, which you hold so dear,
Yeah.
and it's your belief, and then you have to put that aside and teach a new way. How difficult is that?
Yeah, like even Paul mentions about that in the Bible. Most of the time for us who are spiritual leaders, we feel that we need to reach to people spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
But before you reach to someone spiritually, you need to calm down in physical way and feed in the way he's there. If he has spent 2 days without having food, you need to feel the pain he has gone through without having food. If they're sleeping in the house like 10 people, you need to feel the way how people sleep in the house when in one room 10 people kind of stuff. So it's not easy to put the Bible aside and you come in the way you have to come. Sometimes you need to speak the language. Open a door because they will create a fear if you don't put the Bible aside. You don't speak on spiritual things kind of stuff. Like when I go to colleges, I speak to young people how I went through before I got married, how I found a lot of girls and disappointed me kind of stuff. So that practical part helped them to come closer to me and say, hey, did you experience what we experienced? How do you manage all this kind of stuff? Without saying that all
saying those spiritual parts. So you speak all the pain you went through in life, how you gone through, and how painful you felt. You used to have the scars on your body. How do you handle those? Need to go and reach out to your people when you put the Bible aside.
Handling the scars. We're talking to Richard Simpala, who is founder and executive director of Africa Life Youth Foundation. He is here with us from Uganda. Been here for a few days, going to be here in Atlanta and Florida for a few more days, trying to learn more about how to serve the youth of his youth foundation. About how many do you serve in Uganda?
I wouldn't say that this is the number because we go to thousands and thousands of students in colleges and even down. Churches are acting as our center of contacting people. The churches are and be able to share with my fellow young people what we are going through and see how we can find a solution. So we plant churches different villages, but we reach out to millions and millions of young people whenever we come there.
Also talking to Denise Smith. She is Richard's host. She and her the CEO and founder of Denise at Peace, P-A-C-E, of thread.com. What have you learned from those that you have hosted, Denise?
I've learned that we don't have all the answers. I think that they have so much more to teach us if we would listen. Because I think the baseline is that everybody around the world, if you spin the globe and you put your finger there, they want peace. People want to be accepted. People want to be loved. And people want education. They want to know and have knowledge. And I think if we could just celebrate from our family when we learn something that from them, it's because we have touched on one of those four things. I think those are the things that I have continuously seen, both living abroad and living here. Just trying to understand that and just to be able to say being different is great because then you can celebrate a common place of differences and education and hope and love. And I think no matter what we have, from the villages of no water, having no clean water, no ability to have those things, no medicine. If you strip all of that away and you look at these people that live in different places that we do, they trust God at a deeper level than we do. They trust Him for every single breath and every single drop of water. And I don't know if we need, I love to be challenged and reminded of what I have and what I have been blessed to give and from. So whether it's $1 or 1 million or 1 minute or 1 second, I think that we all have more to give.
How did you become a host family?
Saying yes to some door that's open. I think really the big word is it starts with an F. It starts with fear. People are afraid. And if you can take fear off and you can put love on instead, you will be blessed. I think if you really went down to the center of the core of Americans, I can only speak from American because I am one, but I think for most people, we have a good sense of what is right and what is wrong. And stepping out in faith is something that you hope for that you can't see. And we all want to be hopeful that we have and live in a place of love and a place of faith and a place without fear. And so standing up to fear is a bold action of opening the door.
Denise Smith, who is the CEO and founder of Denise at pieceofthread.com. I guess you're the founder of Piece of Thread.
I am, which is we employ and empower refugee women who are living here in the Atlanta area now. We are also in Memphis, Tennessee. But, our heart and now are living amongst us in the refugee community. And I've been doing this for almost 7 years, and I've lived and worked over in the Near East and really learned a lot about the layer of the woman that has been tucked away and given no voice. And so as they learn how to live here and assimilate here in America, and we are in the Clarkston area, which is, I'm sure you've heard,
Yes.
it's the most diverse people group, first from all, in our country. So the nations have come to us, and there are thousands of women that are dying to meet us and meet the real American people who want to be their friend. And so my heart and goal is to teach them how we teach them and we empower them through their first voice being a job. And that is a skill of sewing. And we are given the most exquisite, most expensive fabrics that would be in our garbage and in our landfills, and we turn them into these pieces of art. And they're one of a kind, high-end purses and accessories. And so once they're trained